Well, he promised this was coming, and Brandon Sanderson has completely taken the ticket, sold his soul to the devil, and is pushing the modernist LGBTQ agenda in his Stormlight Archives books. Wind and Truth, or as I like to call it, Break of Wind, is now out. It's 1,300 pages long. Fans are savaging it across everything. And it's all because of weird little modernistic writings. It's all because of the LGBTQ crap being pushed hard in it. And it's been coming for a long time. It's very, very sad to watch this great author fall like this. But this is what money and power does a lot of the time. This is what the mainstream industry does. They force you into this sort of mindset in order to kind of keep what's going on. And we will cover exactly what's happening in Wind and Truth right now. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in fantasy, my friends. It's very important to me. I'm a fantasy author myself, and I appreciate y'all for being here. I would love for you to check out my Adventures of Baron von Monocle series. Brandon Sanderson, is an inspiration of mine to some degree. I like his old Mistborn stuff and the like. And this is an airship adventure. If you like the Wax and Wayne, a couple of first books there, I think you'll enjoy this. It's very to the point. It's very fast-paced. It is a airship crew that goes and fights monsters, questing, and then ends up in the middle of a terrible war, which is a lot here. It's a 6-book series thus far, and it's in the description below. Please check it out. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. Grab the whole series. It really builds up so nicely. I like to think I actually conclude things a lot better. Like Brandon Sanderson, one of his flaws, he doesn't conclude things very well. He sets up nice premises, but that's that. But I think we have that going here where it builds up very nicely, and I think you'll enjoy it. Check it out. Thank you so much for supporting us, guys, and supporting our works. It's been an incredible year in 2024, and I think it's going to be even better in 2025 as we fight back against what's going on in the mainstream here. Now, Brandon Sanderson was what many consider to be the last best hope for epic fantasy genre after his Mistborn series and finishing Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. I was a big Wheel of Time fan in my youth. In recent years, Tor Books author has gone woke, and fans say the current Stormlight Archive novel, Wind and Truth, has gone too far. So many fans have complained about what is a main plot line in this. So it's a gay romance between two men, one of which is not even a human, so it's kind of weird. And then it promotes in the book as if it's a positive lifestyle instead of the sexual sin that it is, which is, a lot of people who like Sanderson's books like it because it's clean, like it because he's Mormon, like it because they want at least some sort of Christian values and things, and he's really forsaking his audience in this. Moreover, the scenes are noted to be forced and out of place in a medieval fantasy setting where it feels ham-fisted and modern. Here's one of those instances here. That's talking a handful of women with larger frames. As he pointed out each one, Chala made a note, and Kolot pulled them from the line. So this is a body positive hashtag. Adeline stopped by one of the taller women with good muscles on her. The strongest he'd seen so far. She stood with her eyes straight forward at attention. Name, soldier, he asked her. Sarquin, sir, she said. Where did you gain those muscles, Sarquin? He asked. Storms, and he could not get that sound right. Blacksmithing, sir. I've apprenticed for 7 years and been named a master. Impressive, he said. I've told the other women if I let you in, you'll have to live and work around men that might be in embarrassing situations. I'm used to it, sir. She said, I have papers. Papers, he said, hesitated. One who has filled out the forms, Chala the scribe said, to live as a man. One who has filled out the form to live as a man. So this is ham-fisted, weird, transgender stuff right here, a woman living as a man. And there's also a gay romance, which I've talked about as well. And this gay romance is characters who don't even make sense in the situation together. So it's Lane. He's outcast from Bridge 4, suddenly becomes cross-species romantically interested in a human male who's the most powerful man in Roshar named Renarin. The two are in such different scopes with their stories it borders upon nonsensical. A reviewer even called it pandering on a page. So this is how much crap is put into this. But it gets worse just with how things have gone with the prose and the like. Fans are super going crazy on this because Brandon Sanderson hits a bunch of modernistic tropes in here, using words like therapy in a fantasy setting. One of the characters becomes a therapist. Here it is, Kaladin. How, Ishar repeated. What are you? He gestured towards Seth. Are you his sprin, his god? No, Kaladin said. I'm his therapist. That's modernistic language, and it doesn't really work very well in this sort of deal. And apparently there's like a whole PTSD therapy session throughout the entire deal. It throws you out of the story. It throws you out of the engagement. Characters also don't use the language that they used to. They used to talk about like thy, blah, 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 like and sound like they were medieval fantasy characters. And now they use words like literally, so they sound like teenage girls in 2024 instead. And so it's just a complete disaster as he finishes this leg of the Stormlight archive, book 5 right here, and people are upset about it. Now Sanderson promised he was going to do this. He used to actually advocate for Christianity, advocate for the Mormon Church, advocate for Christian values, and say he would never put this kind of thing into his books because it's against his religion. But as he got more popular and as he got more corrupted by the mainstream industry, you see exactly what happens. He shifted completely to sell out his entire church in order to get just a few extra bucks from Tor Books, I guess, and to get into this mainstream. And so as he's gotten into the mainstream, he posted last year, and he changed. And he said, "My current stance is one of unequivocal support for LGBTQ plus rights. I support gay marriage. I support trans rights, the rights of non-binary people, and I support the rights of trans people to affirm their own identity with love and support. I support anti-discrimination legislation. I have voted consistently along these lines for the last 15 years. I am marking the posting of this FAQ item at the encouragement of several of my LGBTQ plus fans with a sizable donation to the Utah Pride Center and the Out Foundation." Wow, please clap, guys. So virtuous. He continued saying the Stormlight archives would happen. "I put LGBTQ plus people into my books and continue to do so. Not because I want to fulfill a quota." It is literally because he wants to fulfill a quota. And yes, I use the word literally intentionally. But because I genuinely believe that's right for the characters, and it's a good and important thing for me to be doing. Well, you see, he just ham-fisted puts it in here. This has no good to be done for a character. This is like a tertiary character, and he obviously threw it in here just to virtue signal, just to get those golf claps from the mainstream industry. It's a complete disaster, and the reviews of this are just scathing when you get into the negative reviews on Goodreads. When you get into Wind and Truth on Goodreads here, and just type into this and look at the negative reviews here. Now, Tor Books has a army of these positive reviewers out there always. Look at how bad this is. "I waited 7 years to read this book, 7 years, and I'm not going to finish it. Sanderson betrayed me. I came to this novel for fantasy. I came for Kaladin fighting, the therapist. I came for Dalinar uniting. I came for Shallan lying. In this book, there are moments, there are few and far between, outweighed by what feels like Disney-style gay romance. I came for fantasy, not politics. Whatever your political leaning, this is not what Stormlight was all about. I will be honest, I cried. This hurt so bad." This person says, "Did not finish. My conscience and convictions disqualified for me from continuing to this book. Same-sex romance is an instant DNF for me. Disappointing, but on to something else. To clarify for those intolerant of Christian values," always funny people demand you engage in their practices as a Christian. That's the hallmark of these people. They always lie. They're like, you need to be more tolerant and inclusive. And then you're like, well, you go do what you're going to do. I just am not interested in that, and I don't want to read about that or watch it on TV. "Oh, you're not engaging in it. Screw you. You're canceled." You see, they're the most intolerant and indiverse people out there. It's a complete lie, and it's just about attacking Christians. They're Christophobic is what they are. And this is exactly what's happening here with the mainstream industry corrupting Sanderson again. It's quite different in intentionality when Sanderson mentioned them in previous books. What I mean is that, yes, there was passing reference to a couple in Oathbringer. You can definitely see Rhaenyra's preferences. The difference lies in Oathbringer, where he mentioned this to make the world seem more realistic in scope. For everything saying, "I don't want homosexuals to exist," that's absurd. I don't see the issue in referencing that about it, homosexuality being real in some way. I don't have an issue when he talks about the abuse in his books. It's real, but it isn't glorified or promoted, and that's what's being done now. What I can't in good conscience permit is when the promotion of this relationship becomes a prominent plot point, storyline, or focal point. I don't want to be entertained by the promotion of sexual sin. I don't want to be entertained by the promotion of blasphemy. Sanderson even admitted he was taking a risk in that regard by including it, a risk in my worldview that was not worth taking. So you see how hard he's pushing this stuff. This one feels like it was written by Google Gemini, for a committee of alphabet people. There's no Brandon in the book. The characters are out of character. Story arcs have no goal. It's terrible. He might want to burn it and start anew. This was horrible, but at least I'm finally free. This is boring. It's a brain dump for a review. But honestly, Most bloated book I've ever read. So many point of view characters with unnecessary. I think Aladdin's plot was the only one that interested me because it was the only one that felt new. Said every other character's content was a rehash of the same life lessons they spent the last 4 books relearning. So this is just this is crazy stuff. And here's where the therapist line comes on. Shut the F up, this reviewer says. It's always been a flawed series, but the drastic drop in quality in Wind and Truth is just downright bizarre. This will be the last Sanderson book I read. I am done. And that's how he's going at this point. And this is because he wants to push the agenda, all because he's been corrupted by the mainstream industry. And it's really, really sad to watch Brandon Sanderson fall to this level, all because he just wanted that extra clout and extra power with these people. This is what power and money corrupts, guys. It does every time. Don't take the ticket. It's not worth it. It's your soul, people, and that's what's going on. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Have you read Wind and Truth? Really appreciate you for being there. Hit the like and subscribe button, and please check out my fantasy series, The Adventures of Baron von Monocle. Grab all 6 books. You'll really enjoy this adventure as it builds, my friends. It's really a lot of fun and clean for you guys, and I appreciate you being there, and it'll be in the description below. Thanks again.